Hello everyone, welcome to the When at Work podcast. You're with the host Julian Lee. Today I'm joined by Tanya Hallett and Rob Ramseyer. And it looks like I've messed up your name on the intro video, which I just did 1 second ago. Forgive me. All right, guests, we're going to kick things off with Rob, and then after we play, we're going to talk to our guests and find out all the cool things they're doing. The categories are foreign words and phrases, also a body part. So it'll be something that can also be a body part. What could be an example of that? Foot soldiers, for example, I guess. War and peace. What's up, essay? These are essay words with essay in them. The dreidel will rock. This is about rock and roll people who happen to be Jewish. Jewish rockers. Stop that racket. Racket, ways to use the word racket. All right, I finished dying. Rob, you can kick things off. What category would you like?
Let's do Stop That Racket.
Stop that racket, I'm assuming for 100. This racket is extorting money by saying you'll keep bad guys, aka yourself, from hurting someone. A racket that is usually associated with mafioso.
Ransom.
Oh, yeah, ransom's a good one.
What do you got? Tanya?
Is it blackmail? Blackmail is what I want to say.
I don't like either of those.
Oh, okay.
Let's take a look at the answer. It is... Well, it's protection. Did someone say protection? No.
No, neither of us said that.
Okay, well, I was wrong anyway. I was going to say extortion racket. Rob, you still in control? What would you like?
Let's go also a body part.
Also a body part for 100. It's a border along a highway where vehicles can pull over in an emergency, and it's also a body part.
Oh, my goodness. All I can think of is emergency lane. Rest stop.
My engine light's on. I'm going to pull over on the...
Slip.
The road.
Slip road. Emergency
Shoulder
lane.
is the
Oh,
answer.
sugar doodle. Yes,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Okay. We're
Rob,
not doing very well.
You're still in control. What would you like, Rob?
Let's go also a body part again.
Also a body part for 200. Hitch a ride. How do you do that?
You put your thumb out.
Thumb is correct. You can also say thumb a ride, I think. So you've got it, Tanya. You're in control now.
Oh, dear. Oh, let's go foreign words and phrases.
Foreign words and phrases. I'll do a 100. Said before a toast and after a sneeze, it means health in German.
Gesundheit.
Is correct. Well done, Tanya.
Oh,
300 points.
Huzzah! Do I get to have the same thing? Do I get to keep going with foreign
you can do
words
whatever
and
you want now.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So rare I get to hear that. Foreign words and phrases again, please.
Foreign words and phrases 200. Someone who takes the opposite side of an argument for argument's sake is
Devil's advocate.
Advocate diabli, or this devil's advocate, which is correct.
Oh, well done!
Well done,
Very
Rob.
quick.
Rob's
Well done, Rob.
on for 200, just behind on Tanya's on 300. Rob, what would you like?
Let's go foreign words and phrases again.
Foreign words and phrases 300. While nom de plume is a pen name, this phrase, war name, is simply any pseudonym. War name, any pseudonym. So it's a foreign word or phrase for war name, kind of like nom de plume. I don't know this one. War name? What's a war name?
Incommunicado.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's take a
I
look.
have no idea.
Wow, I can't even see that. That is nom de guerre.
Nom de guerre. Oh my
Name,
goodness,
word-
my French
word.
isn't good.
War name. Okay, well, if you say so. I've never heard that one before. Now, who's in control here? Is it Rob still?
No, it's Rob. It's
Yeah,
still
I
Rob.
think it's
Yep.
me. Let's go War and Peace.
War and Peace. Can't even find it. 100. To sing like a bird.
No, that's not right, is
Well
it?
done. I should give you some points for that.
sing like a bird. To tweet.
Now, I wonder. Okay,
Swan
tweet.
song.
Sorry, Rob.
Swan song.
Swan song. Okay, let's take a look. Warble.
Oh,
But
okay.
what has that got to do with War and Peace? I'm
Well,
not
because
seeing.
war. I'm
Ah,
thinking
gotcha,
war. War
yes.
for warble. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So that'll have war or peace in it, like piecemeal or something. Who's in control? Rob?
Yeah, let's go War and Peace again.
War and Peace for 200. The Pawnee and Crow crafted complex dances for this sacred item that produced smoke offerings to the Almighty. So it must be a Native American thing. They crafted complex dances, and we're in the War and Peace category.
Oh my goodness. A rain dance, a song.
Now, actually, if we read the question, they created complex dances for this sacred item
Mitum.
that produced smoke. I know this one. I didn't at first. So,
Fire dance.
we'll just say you've been at loggerheads with somebody and you've been having a big conflict, and then you go and have dinner with them. You might say, I decided to...
Bury the hatchet.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's what I was
That's kind of
thinking.
Native American as well. It's actually, I think, smoke the peace pipe.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't have thought of that. Oh, that, 'cause I was focusing on war, not peace.
Is it
Yeah.
just having a bong, or is it different?
It's probably different. I don't
Probably.
know.
I think it was tobacco.
All right, let's change it up again. Let's go foreign words and phrases.
Foreign
Better luck.
words and phrases for 400. Italian for the sweet life. It was popularized by a
Dolce
1960
vita. Dolce vita.
Bellini
Dolce vita.
film. It's
Dolce
one of those.
vita.
Yeah, you got
Dolce
it.
vita.
Dolce vita. Well done. Tanya.
I'm back in control of the board.
You are.
Okay. What's up, essay?
What's up, essay? 100. Long curls or locks of hair. Something to do with
Dreadlocks.
essay.
Dreadlocks.
Okay. It is
All right.
tresses.
Oh, sugar.
You got
Right.
it? It's got S's in it. Essay in it.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't get that. No. All right, sorry. Okay, Rob, you're back in control of the board, aren't you?
Well,
Or am I
whoever
still
got the
in
last
control?
correct one, which was you,
No,
Tanya.
you still got it.
You still
Oh,
got it.
have I still got it? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Okay, what's up, essay?
What's up, essay for 200? A ship or a pitcher that holds liquids.
And it's
Glass?
got essay in it. Essay. It's got to have essay in it. Essay.
Or
essay.
as my grandmother used to say, an empty something makes the most noise.
Glass?
No. Not bottle. Not pitcher. Not jug. Ah. Vessel.
That's it. You got it.
Vessel.
Well
Oh yes.
done.
Where I'm from, we do not call it a vessel. So
In fact, I think in the
Fair
US, that saying is empty ships make the most noise, is it? Or
I don't know the saying at all. So
okay. Well, actually, this is an actual Jeopardy question that Alex Trebek gave in
Really?
2011. Maybe it's outdated.
yeah, I learned something. That's all right.
We're learning our new thing for the day. Look, it's good. It's good.
Tanya, what would you like?
Look, the dreidel will rock.
The dreidel will rock. Adam Sandler sang "This Van Halen frontman lights the menorah." Who's the Van Halen frontman who is also Jewish?
Who's Van Halen?
Are
They're
you-
a band, right?
They are a band. You must
So
have
David
heard.
Lee Roth.
Have you heard of Eddie Van Halen?
Yes. David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth is
David Lee Roth!
correct.
Yes. Yes. From The Wedding Singer. Licking the microphone like David Lee Roth. Yes.
He mentioned him. Yeah, he wasn't actually in the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was, I don't know. You're in control, Rob. What would you like?
That's also a body part for 300.
Also a body part for 300. Florida's state tree is a species of this.
This is your corner of the world, Rob.
That's a long way from
Well,
my center.
Florida. What do you? What,
Sycamore tree.
down on the what's the coast, the main strip in Miami called? They got a lot of certain types of trees that they also have in North Queensland.
Palm.
That's what I think.
But that's not the species, right? What's the species of palm tree? I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Let's take a look. The palm is correct. Well done,
Oh.
Tanya.
Well done. Well, there we go. All right. Sorry, what was the last one? It's a racket. Something
Stop
racket.
that racket. Yeah, racket.
Stop that racket. Go on. Let's try that one and see what's on there.
Let's have a look. Where laws control sales through rationing or price controls, commerce outside these laws is in this colourful area.
Racketeering.
Racketeering.
Well done.
Yep.
It's actually, what does it say? The black market. But I'm going to give you racketeering.
No,
'cause
give him
that's
racketeering. That's
actually
fair.
better than the given answer.
I agree. Totally agree. You're in control, Rob.
Oh, I feel like you just gave me a pity point.
No, honestly, I'm pretty mean on the answers. I just feel like the actual answer was
Let's go stop the racket again.
stop the racket for 300. This high-interest form of lending was one of many fishy rackets of NYC's notorious Westies gang.
Loan shark.
Yeah. Okay. I reckon it's got to be. Loan sharking. Yes, it is, Tanya. Well done.
I'm living my best life here. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Also a body part.
Also a body part for 400. It's a collection of supplementary material at the end of a book. And it's also a body
appendix.
part.
Appendix.
Is correct. Well done, Tanya.
Although Rob probably got that too. Did you get it at the same time as me?
I was a split second behind you.
Oh,
Yeah, you got it.
so
too
close.
fast.
So close. Also a body part.
Also a body part for 500. Chef that runs the kitchen.
The head.
Is correct.
Uh,
Well done, Tanya.
Right. Okay. Foreign words and phrases for 500.
Foreign words and phrases for 500. This Greek word is also used in English and means a cleansing of the emotions, especially pity and fear. Greek word. I got it. It's if you go to therapy, after you've been to therapy, you'll say that was
refreshing.
a Greek word.
Traumatic. That was okay. To cleansing of emotions.
I
That
had
was
a-
draining.
Well, I think it's the clue I was giving is it was cathartic, and the Greek word is catharsis. I
Yeah,
can't say it. Catharsis. Catharsis.
that's gotta be it.
Why can't I say
Oh
that?
man, I should have got that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well,
Yeah,
you were
well
close.
done.
Rob, I think you're still in control.
Let's go War and Peace.
War and Peace 300 in. Oh no, sorry, Tanya was in control, but we're going to keep going.
That's
in the
okay,
Green
give it to
Mile,
Rob.
James Cromwell played the man in this job.
Was he a prison guard?
Executioner.
He was a prison guard, I believe. Let's take a look. The warden is a prison guard. Exactly the same thing. You got it.
War and Peace again.
War and Peace. This word for a black magic user comes from the Old English word meaning oath breaker or devil.
Black magic user.
Wizard. Not
oath
wizard.
breaker.
Not a wizard. A demon. No.
Witch.
I'm going to go heretic. Warlock is the correct one.
Ah!
Wow.
Wizard and Warlock. See, should have got that.
We're in war and peace. That's what we should have. Should
Yeah,
have known.
yeah.
All right, Tanya, you can have the next one. You were supposed to have the last one.
Okay, let's do War and Peace again and see what we
War
can
and
do.
Peace 500. Exodus 20:24 mentions these to be placed upon an altar of earth. War and Peace is the category.
Animals, cows.
What was
something
that?
like that. Animals, cows, calves.
Oh.
Sacrifice. So sacrificial lamb.
Lamb.
Let's take
Yeah.
a look. Peace offerings.
Oh, sugar. Well, we are in the wrong, Rob. We're just that was.
Yeah.
I'd gone down a completely different path then.
We went to a darker place.
We went to a way darker place.
All right, Tanya, what would you like? We've got
What's up, essay?
essay 300. Antonym of extraneous. So antonym means the opposite.
Intravenous.
Intravenous. Okay, let's take a look.
I'm probably wrong.
Essential.
Oh, sugar.
Oh, extraneous means unnecessary.
Oh,
You know, extra
silly
to.
me.
I was with you. I thought you had it actually. Tanya, what would you like?
Let's go again. What's up, essay? I'm annoyed I didn't get that one now.
What's up, essay? Someone whose job is ironing clothes in a laundry.
I'm a terrible ironer. I never iron anything if I can avoid it.
It's got to be something to do.
Seamstress. No, press purse.
Oh,
essay.
That sounds.
Seamstress.
I was going to say presser. You know, presses clothes, but seamstress.
Yeah.
It's got to be it. Oh, this is presser. Okay.
That's her.
Oh,
You got it.
sugar.
Well, I didn't even know that was a thing. All right, Tanya, what would you like?
Let's finish this category. What's up, essay?
What's up, essay? In steelmaking, the open hearth process superseded this one named for Sir Henry.
I have
Steelmaking.
no idea.
So it's got to be Henry Ford.
Yeah.
He was making a lot of steel a couple hundred years ago, 120 years ago. Open hearth is like smelting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
What do you call that in essay?
Smessay. I've just created my own word.
It is the
Can't read that.
Bessemer process.
Would not have got that.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap things up. We have got 500 for Rob and 2,700 for Tanya. Let's have a round of applause for our guest.
I feel so happy.
Some very, very tough questions in there.
They
today.
were really difficult, by the way.
They were, but it's good to have some.
Not for you.
No.
All those
I said a whole bunch of. Do you know what though? If I'd lost points for getting them wrong, I would have had minus because I kept blurting stuff out that wasn't right. So
Well,
don't.
I think you've unlocked the strategy is just to blurt out answers and see what sticks.
There you go.
All right, let's cross over. We'll go left to right. Rob, tell us a bit about what you're up to. You've got a PhD in leadership, is that correct?
Yeah, I got a doctorate in education and leadership. Have spent my career in higher education in the United States, and then have a new project I'm doing as part of my work. My current role, I'm over athletics at our university, sports, and then also strategic planning. Are my two main roles. But me and one of our athletic coaches have started a consulting group where we provide training and education and research on how to lead we call them Generation Z, the kids born around 2000 and later. So our focus is what leadership patterns and changes need to happen in order to be effective with this latest generation. So that's where we're spending a lot of our time now.
What college is that, Rob?
Friends University in Wichita, Kansas.
In Kansas, and do you speak with the athletes and some of the sports teams?
Mm-hmm. So I'm ultimately in charge of all those athletes and coaches at our university. And then the Impactful Coaching Project, you have that logo on the screen. We just published our first book, have another one coming out, have a podcast, and we go out and try to help others and train them based on our findings here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And there's some great stuff in the United States with coaching because they've got such a strong college sports scene. And so you oversee the coaches of all the teams and athletes. Is that correct? You're like the head coach sort of thing of the whole organization.
So at our university, we have 24 sports, almost 700 athletes. So it's a big part of the university culture here in the United States,
Yeah.
which is
And
good and bad.
has your school produced anyone I would know?
Let's see. Athletically, we have one alumni in the National Football League that plays for the New England Patriots,
Oh, yeah.
Jeremiah Favres. And then one of our most famous alums is actually a guy named Rich Mullins. He wasn't an athlete, but he was a Christian singer who had a bunch of top hits. And yeah, if you Google him, you can see him there. So those would be two names that come to mind.
They were sort of way out of the left and right field there, an NFL player
Yep.
and a Christian singer. But
Yep.
all right,
We're versatile.
Tell us about the coaching project and you know who are you working with and what are the types of things that you're helping people with?
Yeah, so my co-founder is a guy named Dustin Gallion, and he's been a longtime collegiate coach and speaks all over the country already as something he does. But how we are looking at it is, part of it's generational, where every generation has said the next generation didn't get it. I'm sure my grandparents said that about my parents. My parents are saying that about mine. That's just part of the deal. But in the last 20 years, with the acceleration of technology and access to information, I don't know if we've seen a more dramatic change on how we need to communicate and care for kids. And one thing we see anecdotally, and everybody's agreeing with us, is at least here in the United States, kids grow up online. They lack some interpersonal skills that previous generations had. But at the same time, if you're not authentic, they can sniff you out pretty quick. Like they will nail on you and be done. And the teacher on the call agrees with me. I'm glad to.
Everything you're saying is I had exactly the same conversation with a leader today about exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we work off a framework that we call the 3 C's. In order to lead Generation Z, and it's probably effective with anybody. But first is competence, because if you don't know what you're talking about, this generation has access to information. They will fact check you, and they will know very quickly you don't know what you're talking about, so you can't lead them. Number 2 is systems of care. How do you cultivate an environment where everybody feels cared for in a way that they can make mistakes and stay part of the group to get better? And then the third one we say is constant. So the C for constant. And that goes to, I know in my role, when I've had to fire people, which is an awful experience, nobody wants it. It's because they react poorly emotionally in situations. And they're not prepared for how they respond to the moments that take them off guard. So we talked about character cultivation, how to manage the emotional moments when things happen. And especially in sports, it's too important in our culture here, and it makes people act awful dumb. So we're trying to provide resources for coaches of how do we respond well and manage conflict and emotion. So that's kind of the umbrella we're working off of in our work.
Interesting, Rob. And you're on Substack. Tell us what that is.
So Substack is a new age blog. I hadn't heard from it a year ago, but as we got this going, it was a way just to put information out there. So it's me thinking out loud in some ways. But we publish once a week, put out anything we're working on, any of the research we're doing. And then it's also one of the places we publish our podcast, which is called Beyond Coaching, where we talk to other coaches and leaders and how do we just get information out there to get people to think on how to lead in a healthy and effective way. So yeah, Substack's one piece of that.
Awesome. And what's your podcast called? Is it the Impactful Coaching Project, or is it something else?
No. So it's called Beyond Coaching.
Beyond Coaching. Okay.
So we go every other week publishing an episode, and I'll tell you what, I was nervous to publish it for a long time, but I kept recording episodes simply because I was learning so much from the people I got to talk to, and finally got the courage to put it out there. And it's been just really, really helpful talking to people, asking questions, and we're seeing it grow now, which has been fun. But yeah, the whole goal is to talk to really smart people and ask them questions and get information out there.
Awesome. And with the coaching project, you're working with primarily athletes, is that correct? Or
correct.
Yeah. And what happens if somebody is interested in getting into your world? What happens? Do they have a meeting with you, and then they do regular weekly sessions, or do you have courses? How does it work?
So right now, our work is primarily with coaches. So we're working with coaches and athletic leaders. So it looks a couple different ways. People have brought us out just to speak to their staff. Um, we've done one-on-one consulting, and then it can be as simple as listening to our podcast and buying our book. So we do a wide range of essentially consulting work, and a lot of it is just putting out information, trying to make the world a better place, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah, the podcast is a good place to start with, and then you can really understand what Rob's doing. So I always think that's a good place to start. So check out Rob's podcast. I will put the link to that in the show notes. It's called Beyond Coaching. Thank you very much, Rob Ramseyer. Wonderful. All right, Tanya, let's pop over to Tanya. Tell us a bit about what you're up to. You're in the world of mental health, and you're an educator. Tell us about what you've been up to and who you mostly help.
So Rob, I just loved hearing everything that you just said. Interestingly enough, my stuff is not it's sort of it actually takes elements of things that you're doing there. So I work specifically with trauma-informed practice. So that's teaching organizations how to, in terms of things like leading and communicating and doing this effectively in a trauma-informed way. So basically what that means is that everybody carries trauma, everybody carries, the past and things that have happened to them. And what we need to do as a community, as a workplace, as any organization, is grow empathy for each other. So trauma-informed practice is all about promoting the 5 pillars of trauma-informed practice, which is safety, choice, collaboration, trust, and empowerment. So it's about when you do, particularly when you deal with serious incidents which happen in the workplace, it's about making sure that you're ticking all of those boxes. So I do trauma-informed leadership, which is teaching leaders about how to build safety, like psychological safety with their teams. How do they build trust? How do they build those relationships with people? And what Rob was saying about transparency and authenticity is just so vital, because the generation, by 2025, 30% of our workforce is going to be Gen Z, and they are going to smell out inauthenticity really quickly. They don't like working for people that they don't think care about them or that aren't invested in them. And 30% of our youth are actually coming into the workforce with complex trauma. So the way that we manage this new generation of people who are also much more mental health literate is going to need massive change. So it's working around that. I also do mental health first aid training, which is teaching people how to have mental health conversations when they notice that people are struggling. And I also do work around things like recognizing PTSD and how to create a mentally health workplace, how to deal with vicarious trauma and burnout. Everything that I do is around that. And I also do Lego Serious Play, which I incorporate into all my training practices, which is it's a way of facilitating where you use Lego to build on questions, and then your group actually talks about it. And that's been based on a lot of behavioral science on how people are terrible self-reporters, but if you give them things to play with, and if they think they're playing and they're thinking with their hands, they're much more likely to share deeper insights about what's troubling them.
Interesting, Tanya. And the end consumer of your services is corporate and like business organizations. Is that right?
It's actually, look, I've worked with a lot of lawyers. I'm working with a lot of, I'm working with community legal centres. I'm working with defence at the moment, doing work with them. So it's a bit of, it's honestly, it's all different places. This stuff is needed in pretty much all organisations. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah. like what I was getting at, you don't actually work with the individual on a one-on-one, but you're
No,
working with
so I do. I do
Oh,
work
you
with
do
some
as well.
individuals on
Okay.
one-on-one if they want. Often a lot of people will come to me and say, "Look, I've got someone at work who's struggling with mental health, and I really don't know how to have this conversation. I don't know how to support them, and I help them create like a mental health workplace plan where they can actually have that conversation. They can try and negotiate strategies around what best supports people who may be struggling with trauma or mental health issues."
Yeah, no, I was quite interested in the because there's a need, like you say, in commercial environments and
Hmm.
government organisations, because the different needs of people coming up, the different expectations they expect to have some sort of structure to deal with mental health and acknowledgement of certain challenges that individuals may have. Like it's a totally different landscape. Like
It's a different
I got an
landscape.
email from my youngest's teacher, and he told a story where he had his best friend had passed away, and it
Yeah.
was something that was very upsetting to him, and he just wanted to share it with the kids, and then the kids talked about things that they had experienced, like one
Hmm.
of them's cat was run over, and
Hmm.
my son, his auntie had moved to Spain, and he was crying because he didn't get it. And so he just said, just in case it's brought up some upsetting. And I just thought,
Mm.
man, when I was at school, that would
There was
never.
none of this. No, there was
No.
none of this. And the thing is, we've got a generation of people coming through that they do understand. They understand what mental health is, and they understand a lot of a lot of the younger people coming through. And Rob would know this too from having worked with young, people of younger generations. We've got a lot of kids coming through who suffer intensely with anxiety and depression and other mental health issues. And there is a huge amount of trauma that's come with kids from, things like witnessing family and domestic violence. And, there's so many things that people are carrying. And these conversations, a lot of people won't have them because they're not comfortable. So this is about teaching people how to become comfortable to have these conversations and how to validate people's feelings. No one's expecting you to be a psychologist. No one's expecting you
Hmm.
to diagnose this person. But if you notice someone struggling, having a conversation and checking in with that person and being like, "Look, I notice that you're not behaving like yourself. You seem really down. Is there anything you want to talk about?" And then how people start opening up, recommending they potentially go to a GP and seek, proper professional advice. But it's really important that we actually show we care about people, because I honestly think that the way in the future of organizations is, if we don't actually work on empathy and we don't actually show that we care about people, um, you know, we're not going to have a workforce that is anywhere near as productive as they could be, if we don't actually change the way we've been doing things.
Yeah, this is a huge thing, I think, in the future, and this is going to be a huge growth industry for you. Have found it to be taken up very well by the people that are using the service? Is it a growing thing that you're
It's
finding?
It's still growing. The thing that I've found is, because I talk about things that people are not comfortable with, like one of the other big programs that I do is trauma informed sexual harassment and sexual assault response. Because a lot of workplaces will do sexual harassment programs on what is sexual harassment and don't do this and don't do that. And I'm like, okay, so what if someone tells you they've been sexually harassed or they've been assaulted at work? What is your response to them? And people actually don't know how to have trauma informed conversations. So it's starting to get more traction now, also because in Australia, our legislation around psychosocial safety is changing. So now people are actually going to have to, they are legislatively required to consider mental health and people's health and well-being and in the workplace. But there's still a really long way to go. People don't want to look at uncomfortable topics, and we've actually got to start talking about them if we ever want to make any difference.
That's the next step. And that's
Mm.
called Trauma Informed Practice Training. If you want to check out what Tanya's doing, tipt.com.au. I'll put the other links in the show notes, as well as Rob's links. But I'd like to thank both of our guests for coming on. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much for having us, Julian.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
worries. Well, thanks for listening and watching. I'm going to wrap things up.